Let's talk about intention, which basically means taking back control of your life. Instead of sitting in the driver's seat, reacting to life on a day-to-day basis, I'm saying step into the driver's seat and take back control. Like, have you found yourself just kind of waking up and going through the cycles of the day, just waiting for the day to be over, going to sleep so that you can wake up and do it all over again? I mean, how many of you can really say that you've just found yourself going through the motions? You've completely lost the zest for life, like passion, wonderment, adventure, all the reasons that we're alive, to experience joy and happiness in its truest form, to know love. Remember when you were a child and you used to know those feelings? You used to know wonderment, and you used to spend all day dreaming about how it would be when you grew up and the infinite possibilities. But then suddenly the world said, hey, I need you to pay attention. I need you to focus on these particular goals. And suddenly your path was laid out with a series of milestones. Your first milestone may be get our driver's license, we graduate high school, and then possibly going on to college with a career in mind. And if you don't have a career, then your goal or your milestone is finding the career, so that when you exit college, you step into a career. Then you're looking for a relationship, maybe getting married, then having children. And then your focus is the children for a little while and making sure that you're raising them correctly and cultivating this family atmosphere. But then suddenly you realize that you're living somebody else's life. You've stopped dreaming. You've stopped accessing the infinite, and you're just stepping into this day-to-day routine that is very limited, constrained, boxed in. I would ask you to, just for a moment, step back into the shoes you wore as a child. Not literally, but figuratively. Kind of think about yourself standing outside of your childhood home or somewhere you used to enjoy to be as a child, that you would go and play. And just see yourself in that space. Maybe their friends are around, and just imagine what it felt like, free of the burdens, free of those boxes or limitations, the things that frame your decisions today, like free of your mortgage, free of your relationship, free of the children, and just kind of coming back to that space of infinite possibilities. And then ask yourself, if you were in that space, what would you be dreaming about? What would your imagination conjure up as the possibilities of your life? And just kind of feel that again for a moment. So this idea of intention isn't that you have to do something to access the power of intention. The power of intention is at work in your life, whether or not you choose to take control of it. Every moment of every day is being guided by your intention. The intention is created by wherever your energy is being directed in the moment. And by energy, I mean your thoughts, words, and actions. So where is your focus at any given time? Where is your attention? When you were a child, you were told to pay attention, and pay attention to this. Focus on this. This is your goal. This is your milestone. And now, what are you paying attention to? Are you paying attention to mostly worries and fears of whatever it is that you have created crumbling down? Or are you focusing on where you're headed from here? Are you focusing on what you wish to create as your day? I mean, do you wake up with a sense of excitement about your day, feeling that anything can happen, and what do you wish to see as your day unfolding? So I would urge you to consider that quite possibly every moment of every day is being created first in your mind through thoughts and actions. Kind of find ourselves in this, the yogis call it the samskara, which is kind of the habitual nature. It's like the grooves in our life. So you kind of, like, if I was to ask you what you do as the first thing once you open your eyes, you would know. And typically it's kind of just this microcosm of the macrocosm. You're every day doing the same thing. And then weeks go by, and months go by, and years go by, and basically you've cycled through the same thing over and over. So I'm asking you to kind of throw a wrench in the tire, to kind of call everything to a halt. Stop, sit in this moment, and look at what you've created around you as your life, and decide, is this what you wish to create as your life? It's your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your choices that have created exactly where you are. You chose to live where you're living. You chose to have the job that you have and the relationship that you have or don't have. All choices of yours. And if I was to ask you what it is that you wish that you had, if I was to tell you I was holding a magic wand and I had the ability to grant you whatever wish that you wanted, do you even know what you would wish for? I mean, would you wish for a different place to live, different location geographically, maybe? Or maybe just a different location within the geographic area you live in? A different relationship, or at least a different dynamic in the relationship, maybe more love, more passion, more communication, trust. So oftentimes what's happening is our minds are trained to move in the direction of what we don't want. So we spend all of our days focusing our attention, our energy in the direction of our fears. Oh, I hope my relationship, my husband or significant other, it doesn't, fight with me today. I hope he isn't agitated about this. I hope she doesn't do this. I hope that I'm able to make enough money to pay my rent. I hope that whatever it is that I'm creating, isn't a failure. Yeah. So we live in this world of what ifs, of what if it all falls apart, instead of living in the world of what if it all works out. Directing your attention towards what it is that you want. So you wake up in the morning and you say, today my intention is to have an amazing day filled with adventure and joy and bliss and smiles and love. And then just kind of emanate that feeling throughout every cell in your body, just to know it is. And then imagine what your day is going to unfold like. Decide, oh, I'm going to have 3 appointments today, and each one of these appointments is going to be amazing. I'm going to walk away from the appointment feeling so fulfilled, feeling as though both of us walked away having obtained what it is that we wanted to. Mutual wonderment. And the idea is, we are creating, again, the outcome of our life. But right now, you're just allowing it to unfold because you're in a reactive state. You pick up the phone and you call somebody, but you don't stop for a moment and consider, why are you making the call and what is the outcome you wish to have? Just stop and consider that. There's times like where I've had this experience, I get a bill in the mail and I was charged wrong, and I pick up the phone in a rage and I call them ready for a fight. So guess what I get? My energy was towards fight. So I get resistance on the other end of the line, and then I respond and react with fight. But if I stopped before I made the call and I really asked myself what I wanted, I didn't want a fight. I wanted resolution. And so if I aligned myself with resolution and said, okay, I see myself calling these people, I see them seeing the mistake and everything working out effortlessly. And then I think in my mind, what would be the resolution that I would be happy with? And I see that resolution happening. And without fail, since I've started using the power of intention, and I've started aligning myself with the results I wish to see as my life, that is exactly what I've been seeing as my life. It really is that simple. Stop and ask yourself, what do you want? The way that intention works is through attention. Whatever it is that you're giving your attention to is the only thing that can exist in that moment. We place our attention on our lack, and suddenly we're in this state of, oh, I don't have enough, and we're giving all of our energy and all of our attention to not having enough. And then as we place our attention, all that does is just draw the energy there. It doesn't have the creative force or creative power. It just pulls the energy there. So now hovering over your lack is a ton of energy. Lots and lots of energy. But now it is your intention that has the ability to transform that energy into whatever it is that you wish to see unfolding. So you say, well, my intention is to turn this lack around to abundance, to prosperity, to infinite financial abundance. And then you start to shift your attention towards that. Move in that direction. And you see your intention being, my intention every moment of every day is to find ways to create abundance in my life and prosperity. And so now your energy is being spent over, eventually we can shift the energy from lack over into prosperity, and then the intention happens. It manifests as your life. You know, the body is an amazing machine, and it has a built-in system to kind of show how attention and intention work. You know, when your body needs a little attention or transformation of sorts, maybe a part of the body is failing, wounded, broken. So we have this system called pain. You know, why was pain created? Why do we even have pain? Well, pain draws your attention. I mean, oftentimes that's why things happen in our lives also, like things falling apart, or chaos, or drama, or fights, because it brings your attention to that thing so that you can actually focus on it, not distract yourself away, but bring your attention there, and then you can align with, well, what is my intention behind this? You know, now that I'm looking at this pain in my ankle or my leg, what is my intention? Well, I wish to heal it. Okay, and now we move in the direction of healing. Same thing with the relationship. Maybe you weren't paying your attention to it, but you were wishing somewhere in your subconscious mind for something different, something more. Well, then suddenly, just like the pain in the body, there becomes this pain outside of the body, an external experience, a fight or an argument, and your attention is drawn to that relationship, and then it becomes stopping for a moment. You know, because the fight will just keep going, keep going, keep going until you stop and you say, well, what do I want? I want resolution. What does that look like? And now the intention has the ability to transform, to create the results that you're looking for. So I had a really profound moment with this. You know, if you're at all involved with understanding the law of attraction, there is a quote in, I think it's in The Secret, that says, where your attention goes, energy flows. Right? So it's what I'm talking about here, where attention goes, energy flows. And I owned a yoga studio, and right when I first opened up, you know, and I'm trying to make ends meet month to month, and I'm really trying to practice this law of attraction concepts and using intention or the power of intention to do this. And so this one day, I was thinking, oh gosh, you know, to make all the bills meet, I need $2,000. So I got to find $2,000 today. And I started looking around, you know, how can I find $2,000? So I went to my bank and talked to my banker and said, I'd like to find $2,000. Is there any credit lines? Is there any creative ways that you can kind of look at my accounts and find $2,000? He kept hitting dead ends, dead end after dead end, and I kind of said, okay, well, I'm going to head back to the studio and I'll just leave you to work on it. And I went back to the studio and decided to meditate. So I went into the studio space, laid down and did a meditation. And in my meditation, it just suddenly hit me, out of nowhere, just that phrase, where attention goes, energy flows. And it kind of hit me in a new way, where I resonated with the message in that quote, where intention goes, energy flows. And I thought to myself, where had I been placing my attention? I'd been placing my attention on finding $2,000, which was saying to the universe that I didn't have it, and keeping me in this state of lack. I was giving energy to the not having. And when I had this realization, it hit me, and I chuckled to myself like a crazy person all by myself in the studio. And I hopped up, and I stepped out of the studio to my reception area. I was sitting at the reception, I grabbed a piece of paper, and I wrote, where attention goes, energy flows. I wanted to remember that feeling I had, that realization, just that aha moment. And so I set it up there, and I was just like, oh, I'm placing my attention on, I already have it. I already have the 2,000. I'm just revealing it because it's already there. And right then, literally within 2 minutes of that moment, my mailman comes. And I was just a small yoga studio, local business. And so, you know, we were in very good terms. You know, I was very close to my banker, or I'm sorry, my mailman. So he walks in, hands me the mail, and I sift through it, and sure enough, there's a check. And I'm just laughing. I'm like, I can't believe this. I opened the check up, and I had completely forgotten that I had this money coming from this other business that I had advertised with, and we had done a deal, and they had collected money on my behalf. And so this check was for the amount of $1,880. So I was looking for $2,000, or apparently I had found $2,000. I'd already had it. I was just letting it be revealed. And there it was, $1,880. And then within 2 minutes of that, a guy walks into the studio and buys a 10 class card, which at the time was $120. He was buying it as a gift and wanted a gift certificate. And I mean, it was just the universe confirming to me this power that we all hold